Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered and Functional. I am your host, Mandy, and I'm here today with my bestie, Sashi.
Hello, hello.
And a big thing that is important to both of us as competitors and just as women that want to feel good and optimize, and I'm gonna say it, have regular bowel movements. We are going to talk about some very, very simple, supportive solutions that you guys can do for your gut health. Right now, all over social media, actually, like for the past 5, 10 years, I feel like there's just information overload about gut this, gut that, probiotic this, all these different hacks.
Greens powder here,
Oh my God, the green.
bloat powder there.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
de-bloat.
Drives me crazy. I cannot. So we're here to give you guys very simple, proven, effective ways you can support your gut that have literally, with the exception of one, nothing to do with supplementation or debloat or greens powders.
Mm,
Come on, they're not good. They taste horrible.
yeah, seriously.
First batter up, which is a big fave of both of us, is starting your day fasted with a GI support drink. Now, you guys might be wondering, WTF is a GI support drink? The ingredients are pretty simple and they are all mixed together. So I really want to disclaim that because I've had some people think that they take shots of these separately. And I'm like, oh
No.
God, no. No. And I also want to disclaim this is not medical advice. This is a conversation for education and entertainment purposes. But the ingredients are basically water, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and aloe vera. And then if you want to go above and beyond, which I do recommend, adding glutamine powder and myoinositol as well. If you guys want the exact measurements that I recommend, go ahead and comment down below GI support drink and I'll send that on over to you guys. But Sash, how long have you been doing this drink for?
With all of those ingredients going on, I want to say just about 3 years now. 2 years, 2.5 years to 3 years. But I did do the L-glutamine with just like water and lemon since almost the start of my fitness journey. Like I think I discovered L-glutamine shortly after. And it's funny because I discovered it because I initially used to use Bloom Greens powders. So I literally have pictures of when I started my fitness journey and I like would take pictures of my food and like how like nice and aesthetic my plate looks. And you just see like a big old cup of like greens powder juice water thing that I would make. And it was disgusting. It didn't taste good. I don't think it really did much. I am a huge advocate of eat your fucking greens or drink them in a smoothie. That's fine. But I remember when I started doing some research, I was like, what am I even drinking this for? Like I was just influenced by the internet to like drink a greens powder and then it was like, oh, like it's good for this, it's good for that. And then somehow through my deep dive rabbit hole dig of like how to have better bowel movement and health, internal health and gut, I came across L-glutamine and I ordered L-glutamine from Now Supplements on Amazon, like the big orange one. I've been using it ever since.
Yeah.
That's it.
And did you notice from before using it to after using it? And I'm sure there are other variables because it was at the start of your fitness journey, but you noticed improvement.
I noticed improvement and anytime I recommend the L-glutamine to anyone, I always tell people I'm like if you are like sensitive, like if you have like a sensitive stomach, like I recommend staying not too far from a bathroom after drinking it the first couple of times, especially like the GI combo drink because I don't know about you, but unless I go in the morning, which even if and when I do go in the morning, if I have my gut drink fasted and like especially get some movement in after that, like with
Mhm.
the combination, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like that is a non-negotiable. Like it works better than a black coffee will.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. There is a reason that most of my clients call it the poop drink.
Yeah.
Um, and also, anyone listening, that is not to scare you away from it. We don't mean like it's going to give you
Yeah, you're
like
not gonna have diarrhea.
diarrhea.
No.
No, it's just like your body is like, oh, I'm gonna just clean house right now.
Yeah, no,
And it's
literally.
nice, it's healthy, you feel good, you feel light after. So definitely recommend all those individual ingredients. They do have a purpose. It's not like we're just like, hey, let's switch doctor this and throw them all together. The majority of them are going to help your gut lining in some way, shape, or form. Some of them have dual benefits like supporting recovery, help regulating blood sugar, helping with inflammation that can occur in the gut, but all of them are very supportive. I do want to make the small little notation here that there are some outlier individuals that might not benefit from a GI support drink, depending on their gut status or if they have H. pylori, or some other things. So, really talk to your coach, talk to your provider, and make sure that you are someone that is good to go before trying that. Our next super simple gut supportive tip is literally eating without distractions. Like, don't be on your phone, don't be on the TikToks. I'm guilty of this. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, but I am also going to keep it so real and say that my digestion when I'm not scrolling versus my digestion when I am scrolling are two different things. So I say this with love. I say it from experience. Do not eat distracted, be present. And more importantly, taking a walk 5 to 10 minutes after you eat. If you live somewhere like I do right now and it is like 95 degrees plus outside, so taking a walk outside is like not a great option if you're heat sensitive. Even moving around, like cleaning your kitchen or something after you eat, just getting some steps around the house, that counts too. It helps your meals digest better. You're kind of shunting glucose, or I should say blood sugar and insulin a little bit better. And you just feel good. You ever like eat a lot and then you just sit there and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't like that. It's not a cute
No.
look. Our next easy, simple tip is cutting off food 2 hours or more before you go to bed. I've worked with a lot of people that will be like, well, I don't want to go to bed hungry. So I'm going to eat like an hour or 30 minutes before I go to sleep. And then they'll say, oh, I have really bad heartburn. Then they're taking a medication for the heartburn. And now we've just like created a negative loop here.
Yeah.
So, not just to avoid acid reflux, but we also want to make sure that your body is diverting all of its efforts while you're sleeping to recovery, to growing muscles if you're lifting in the gym heavy, to creating healthy hormones, to those things. Because if you eat too soon before you go to bed, now your body's like, should I prioritize digestion or should I prioritize sleep? I don't know what to do. So I'm going to kind of fuck you on the short end of the stick on both.
Yeah.
If you're having trouble sleeping and you eat right before bed, maybe just switch the meal timing a little bit. Do you do that?
Yeah, I would say the latest that I'll eat before bed is gonna be like an hour and a half, and that's like I'm absolutely pushing it. And even with that, I notice myself like if I eat to like at that hour and a half mark before going to sleep, like I'll also end up pushing my bedtime a little bit, just like naturally, because I don't want to go to sleep with a full stomach. I also don't want to be like, and same thing goes for like drinking water. Like I'll try to chug the most amount of water 2 hours before bed, but then like I'm still sipping on tea, I'm still sipping on water, and I mean I almost wake up every night in the middle of the night because I need a pee. I drink a gallon and a half almost every day, so it's like otherwise I to not wake up in the middle of the night to need a pee means I have to cut out water like 4 hours beforehand, and that's not happening. So but as far as the food goes, yeah, I do ideally try to stop eating about an hour and a half to 2 hours before bed. I will also say it does depend on the meal because being in a calorie deficit right now, it's like I could afford to eat an hour and a half before bed without feeling super full because my meal isn't super big and it's also not carb heavy. It's really just for the most part protein, fats, and like a little bit of carbs. But when I'm in a growing phase or just in my maintenance and like eating a lot more food, it's like I try to portion it to not have a lot of carbs or a lot of like sugar before bed, just as is.
Mhm.
But B, my meals just naturally end up being bigger. So like that's when I am a lot more strict about the 2 hour mark, if not even two and a half, because it's just like I'm eating a way bigger meal. There's a lot more calories. There's a lot more for my body to have to work through to like digest that and to like break that down. So that's kind of like the only little tidbit is it all like if you are in a calorie deficit, you could kind of afford the like hour and a half, maybe even hour mark, depending on where you're at. Yeah, I think the 2 hours is a really solid place to shoot for.
I think that's a good point too, depending on what kind of phase somebody might be in. People, I think, don't think about digestion as being work for the body, but it actually is work for the body.
Yeah.
And a lot of the clients that I have been working with through Rise, we get a fair amount of competitors that have gut dysfunction because of the amount of food they're eating from like a grow phase. And I'm like, that, like big, heavy meals, even if you're like prioritizing like more fats to try and get the calories higher without having to like eat like a huge, it's still rough on digestion. So that's a really good point. If you are eating heavier meals, probably allowing a little bit more time past that 2 hour mark is also helpful.
Yeah.
Our last super simple tip, which it should be a no-brainer, in my opinion. Don't eat when you're stressed. Don't stress eat. Don't eat your feelings. So I've
Big one.
said this before, I'll say it again. I'll beat it like a dead horse or whatever. When you are stressed and you are up in your sympathetic state of being and it's fight or flight, the quickest way for your body to regulate out of that state is to eat because it forces your body physiologically to shift into rest and digest, which is only a very temporary reprieve from that stress. So not only are you giving your body forced mixed signals, messing with your glucose and insulin and cortisol responses, most of the time people almost immediately emotionally regret it.
Yeah.
There might be some guilt, there might be some shame after that initial dopamine hit goes away. So, my recommendation is if something stressful happens, if something big and emotional happens, I want you to step away from the situation, take a couple deep breaths. You can do this anywhere. You could be at work, you could be at home, doesn't matter where you are. Just step away from the situation as much as you can. Go to the bathroom, take a couple deep breaths, even say out loud to yourself, I'm feeling stressed, so I want to eat because I want to calm down. And then work on calming yourself down. You don't need the food to calm down. If that is going to be too difficult, and maybe the stressful event coincides with your lunch break when you're at work, and so you're going to eat anyway, in that case, I still would recommend sitting down, taking 5 to 10 deep breaths before you eat, and having that be what primes your nervous system to calm down from up there to down here rather than using the food to do that. Because then you're going to be, unfortunately, a little bit more prone to stomach ache, indigestion, things like that afterwards. So, really slowing down and understanding what you're going through and understanding it's just temporary. That
Yeah.
stress will eventually end. So,
No, I love
um,
that. I love that. And just the little nugget that I want to add in here is a dysregulated body is not a functioning body. So it's like if you are dysregulated, even with just feeling stress, like your body is not digesting properly. Your body is not going to use that food the way that it needs to. Your body is not breaking it down the way that it needs to. Like, and this is coming from experience, and I'm sure that you could relate, like beyond the stress eating, like any anything that is dysregulated in your body, like no matter how much you try to like perfect it or like what you try to do, like if you're not in a regulated state, like your body will not function the way that it's supposed to, no matter how hard you try. So specifically right now that applies to like food and eating. But no, that's a really great tip. And honestly, I would even go the extra measure of push your lunch break back if you need to. Like if you're super stressed and it also happens to fall around your lunch break, take those couple of deep breaths, maybe drink some water first, do something to like slow it down a notch, and if you can, push your lunch break back 15 minutes and maybe have a little bit less time to eat, which not trying to promote quick eating, like please
Mm-hmm.
eat slow and pay attention to your food, but rather than having like a 30-minute lunch break, if you have a 15-minute one, but you gave yourself the 10-15 minutes to like bring it down a notch, that's gonna go a lot of a longer way than if you're just gonna try to shove food down your mouth and while you're stressed.
Yeah. That's another excellent point. Thank you. Guys, these are some simple tips that we have that can help your gut be a little bit in a better place without you having to take 80,000 million supplements. With that being said, of course, if you have any questions about gut health or if you're experiencing something that might go past some of these simple solutions and you want to find out a little bit more about gut testing, you can go ahead and reach out to us. I'll link our Instagrams below with our link trees in the description. Give us a thumbs up or rate us 5 stars on Spotify and go ahead and check out Sash's Sculpt Sunday podcast as well. I will catch you guys on the next one.